Um, I think after what Professor Savita and Dhananjay have done in terms of locating our organizational structure with some kind of clarity as to what we do, how we do, and then Dhananjay telling us what we could be doing, I'm going to just focus on what we have done so far in the last 2.5 days and what is now available to us. So and taking a cue from the chair where he said that new questions that we have managed to raise, new methodologies and new possibilities of intervention, I'm just going to respond to that. So I think we have been able to deliberate collectively on ontology, or rather ontologies of technology. If I take from the first day, the inaugural session, we had been talking about how there is a certain uncertainty of technology, probability, entanglement, contextual, non-local, creative, recreative, relational. I mean, what is the ontic, possibility that we see of technology unfolding in front of us? As well as the kind of impact that this on-tech presentation that we have tried to unravel has on individual, worker, or rather multiple cultural identity bearing entity that is being created as a political subject. How there is a suspension of certainty and uncertainty of choices as a kind of continuum in front of this particular political subjectivity that gets created. So taking a cue from that, the epistemic contributions of this year of CTC focusing on technology discourse would include, and then I'm trying to just traverse through all the sessions together. Digitality and the creation of a techno-social in front of us in terms of techno-consciousness, techno-citizenship, techno-obscenities coming from the first session, techno-labor, techno-nationalism, techno-religious, the existing web of identity and normativities that we have been discussing so far in the last 10 years of our CTC colloquium are actually getting entangled further with this uncertainty of choice that is presented with the intervention of technology. And I think the response to technology and the impact of technology are in some way encapsulated in the way we have tried to arrange our sessions, in the way we have tried to give a name and theme to this deliberation this year. So our collective normative gaze of CTC, if you will, has been unpacking the creation, recreation and remodeling of hierarchies and contestations. So we do agree collectively that there is a creation of hierarchies. We do agree that there is a contestation, and so as the question was raised earlier, where is the crisis? I think the crisis is lying exactly here in the hierarchies that get created with this uncertainty of choice, in the kind of contestation that is possible from grassroots, as a grassroots response, or that is not possible as a grassroots response. And I think as a part of our collective quest, and I would like to refer to the first session here, so far as hierarchies of technology are concerned, the collective quest probably is to move from the choiceless awareness that was referred to in the first session to constructive engagement, where we are able to respond to this imposition, where we remain as a choiceless yet aware entity in the face of whatever is unfolding. The events, the identifications, or simply a kind of ambivalence, the word that was being used again and again. So if something is happening in Palestine, do we respond or do we react only as a choiceless aware entity? Or do we also break that particular, suspension of choiceless awareness and move on from there? Because here the intervention of technology has its own political economy behind it. There is a kind of political economy which is inbuilt, and a lot of sessions have been able to develop a kind of nuanced understanding on the interventions that occur in our quest to move beyond suspension of choiceless awareness, the panoptic gaze of state, and then how there is a rebuttal or the surveillance or the imposed obedience or the question of political organization in the last session, the capital, exploitation of labor, so on and so forth. So how there is a constant imposition of choiceless awareness as well as rebuttal of it. That's something that we've been able to kind of delve into, but I think the question still remains, and this is the last line that I'm going to speak. How do we bring in that particular moral imperative that was discussed at large in the first session, on the first day in the first session, as well as the subsequent sessions, the moral imperative of bringing, for the time being, since there was a lot of reflection on Indian intellectual traditions, bringing sanskar, what was referred as engagement, into this whole and breaking this whole the idea of choiceless awareness by bringing sanskar and by bringing in the element of Vedana. I think the element of Vedana, what we are trying to encapsulate here is samvedana, empathy. So instead of just existing as a choiceless aware entity, we start responding. We start responding as a samvedansheel individual, if you will. So how do we do that? What are the new methods of responding in that particular manner? I think that remains our collective quest. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.